Yo, what's good, y'all? You dub back here again, here in 2019. Let's get it. Now, for back around 2015 and before, I was young Luffy in the community. But ever since then, I've been the Dark King, the Marco of the One Piece community, of the YouTube anime and manga community. But I see Bravo DA's homie. He drops a video on Whitebeard Edward Newgate being stronger than Goldie Rogers, than the Pirate King himself. And my sponsor is, sorry, you're wrong, and here is why. Hell no. Now, I understand the argument. But it's videos like this that make me go back into prime mode. Alright? Come back in my prime. And just go and obliterate the topic in my own regard. And I understand this video is going to be very philosophical. But for those used to my channel, for those they know how I get down. For those who talk with me, they already know what it is and what it ain't. But just be pre-warned. Now here's the thing. What is strength? I'm not going to go in this video on the entire philosophy of strength because that's a very broad umbrella term, let alone my own philosophy on strength. But it's important to consider overarching. What is that? What is strength? Now, we're going to be mainly tailoring this to the question of the Pirate King. Okay? Starting off, does the Pirate King have to be the strongest, the most powerful man on the seas, the most powerful in the One Piece world? Well, technically, no. But because he isn't, seemingly, that's not the goal. Because the goal is not to chase strength, he becomes the strongest. You can say, well, isn't that a contradiction of terms, Wonder? That doesn't make sense. It's called a paradox. Okay? For those who don't know, the literary term, philosophical term of paradox means a general truth, more or less, that seems to contradict one another, but it's actually true. Okay? Because he doesn't strive to be the strongest, he becomes the strongest. And you can say, isn't that contradictory? Now, in the West, a lot of Westerners, those, Western civilization, have this mentality of pushing and striving for strength, pushing for your goal. Yes, you push for a goal. But in the West, it becomes an obsession. That's not how you gain great success. That's not how you gain great achievement. Yes, you need to be super focused, but not obsessed. And there's a fine line between the two. Now, to the outside lookers, those who are very successful are obsessed. They're not. There's a balance to everything. Bruce Lee become Walter, my friend. That has a lot of applications on so many levels. Okay. This video will be broken down into 3 segments. I was thinking maybe it's going to be 5, but no, we'll stick to 3. We'll stick to Pirate King, hockey, and the philosophy behind the Pirate King. Okay. Which is why Roger reigns supreme. Starting with the Pirate King. What does it mean to be a Pirate King? Now, too often I hear this assumption from One Piece fans. Oh, it means to find One Piece. One Piece didn't exist before Roger. Pure and simple. The term One Piece comes from his quote-unquote death quote, right before he quote-unquote died. And it's still questionable whether he's actually dead or not, but that's a whole other topic for discussion, right? Anyways, so Roger says before he dies that I left all my possession, all the treasure I have in the world in one piece. And so people assume to become Pirate King is to gain that. But it was said that Roger, quote unquote, conquered the seas and became Pirate King, conquered the Grand Line. Which is fascinating because you had people like Golden Lion Shiki, Whitebeard Edward Newgate, Big Ma'am Charlotte Linley sailing those seas as well. He didn't seemingly fully defeat and conquer them, but he conquered the seas. So we already got too many questions going on. Alright. So what is the Pirate King? Now, Roger ain't like Luffy where he united the pirate world. So again, what is the pirate queen? It's very this nebulous, ambiguous thing. Alright. Since we don't have a direct thing from Oda, because Oda's playing it fast and loose, he's playing the loosey goosey liberal with it. Let's look at the term itself. King of the Pirates. Well, we have to go back to what does it mean to be a pirate? What does it mean to be king? If you take them separately, you would see ruling over all pirates, ruling over the pirate world. But if you take it together, look at the concept. The epitome of what it means to be a pirate. Now, people think in a very stereotypical way of pirates. That means just robbing and stealing and technically piracy is theft on the high seas. But in the world of One Piece is a hell of a lot more complicated than that. So, in this case, what does it mean to epitomize a pirate in One Piece? Roger did that. Now, along the way, you have to become powerful, pure and simple. You have to be able to battle powerful people, pure and simple. You have to be able to survive battles. You have to be able to survive crazy experiences on sailing these seas without question. So strength is an aspect that comes along with it, just like being the world's strongest swordsman. Which, on the flip side, let's look at something with Western obsession with, the look of strength. Oh, he doesn't look strong. Oh, he looks strong. You look at Commander in Chief Kong. Look at this built ass physique. Look at huge monster, right? Look at Garp, just built, right? Look at Sengoku, built, right? Just these massive physiques, right? Look at Sakazuki, broad physique, right? Look at Whitebeard, Edward Newgate, just huge manly physique. Look at Kaido, an absolute monster of a physique. Big Man, Charlotte Linen look like absolute monsters, right? Now compare that to look at Goldie Roger. Goldie Roger looked like a regular man. Dark King Silver's Raven looks like a badass, but regular man, right? Red haired Shanks looking pretty regular, right? I mean, we know he lost his arm, he got that badass scar, but still looking pretty regular, right? You look at Ben Beckman. But first man Ben Beckman looks like a regular older man at this point, right? You look at Dracula Hawkeye's Mihawk, and maybe a bit intimidating with the eyes and stuff, but fairly regular, right? Look at Luffy, looks like a regular young man. Zoro looks like a muscular young man. What am I saying here? You look at these, Oda was intelligent about it. He intentionally made these monstrous, larger than life characters and oppositions to divert our attention. That's what those have to be the strongest, right? And then he made these regular looking dudes. What is he saying? That this obsession with the appearance of strength rather than what strength truly is. Okay? And a pirate, epitomizing what it means to be a pirate. It's said that Roger stole uh, the poneglyph from Lin, right? Roger, they were doing shenanigans on the high seas. Roger survived battles, you know, the battle at the Head War, and all this stuff. Luffy the same way. Luffy's been through hell, he's been through the struggles. Epitomizing what it means to be a pirate. Epitomizing overcoming challenges. Okay? Epitomizing, you know, going through the wars, going through the treacherous seas, sailing around. Epitomizing what it means to be free. And we'll get back to that freedom point. But realize how these regular seeming dudes are versus these painted powerhouses. Now, moving on to hockey. Okay. Hockey, of course, is spiritual, pure and simple. I'm not going to get into the entirety of spiritual philosophy, but it's spiritual. The Oda clearly did that. It's like with Ki, it's like with Chi, chakra, all these concepts, they're all spiritual. Okay. Hockey's willpower. How do you quantify willpower? Well, you can't. You know, you look at Dragon Ball, and I use Dragon Ball because most of us here obviously know the series. Vegeta versus Son Goku. Why was Son Goku superior? Vegeta, and this goes along with my point, by birth, more potential, just more power, He would push himself physically and do the Western thing. Yeah, just train. And I'm not saying Son Goku didn't train. He obviously did train his body. But Son Goku, meditation. Son Goku trained his spirit, and his ki was superior. He was always, he knew better martial arts methods. He was superior because he was holistically superior. It wasn't until Dragon Ball Super where you can kind of say to a lesser degree GT, but Super really uh, emphasizes where Vegeta finally understood. He became mature enough to understand the mental aspect, and you can see he's on a similar, if not, you know, on par with Son Goku. And in a lot of cases, he surpasses Son Goku in power because Vegeta got his mind right. In the same sense of hockey, and I brought up those gentlemen who are regular looking, their spirits. Zoro wants to become the world's greatest swordsman. Well, why? Because he's passionate about swordsmanship. He's not doing it to reign supreme. He's not doing it to lord over it. Look at Hawkeye's. Hawkeye's by himself just chilling. You look at Shanks. Shanks is trying to have a good time and keep balance in the world, keep peace. Luffy, I want to be the freest man on seas and have a great time and have an adventure. Dark Sea Seals Razor is just chilling in the cut right now, right? It's their spirit. It's their will to battle. It's their will to want to be free. It's their will to do as they like. And that kind of thing makes it a special person. You're not caught up in the rat race. You're not trying to do what everybody else is doing. You're not trying to control the world. Look at Lin Lin and look at Kaido. Just using their presence and whatnot. And just, these using their physique and their power and their influence to run things. Luffy ain't trying to run shit. And that's why he'll surpass all of them. It's seemingly contradictory because it's a mentality that goes opposite of the Western obsession of gaining power and status and influence. Look at Teach. Opposite. Teach is trying to gain, amass all of that. Luffy's just doing it naturally. Luffy didn't even want a Grand Fleet and got it. That's not a fluke. That's not luck. That's not plot armor. That's his personality. That's his hockey. Roger, different from Luffy, wasn't seemingly gathering allies, but Roger's will was so powerful. I don't care what anybody said, that was not a devil fruit that caused that. Fate seemingly, that was his willpower. That was his Congress hockey. Guarantee you that was his Congress hockey. The hockey, the will of the man, of the person. Keep that in mind. And that willpower, and I don't think Roger had a devil fruit. You look at Luffy. Luffy has a quote unquote weaker devil fruit from people who don't understand the power of rubber. Rubber is nasty, but still, it's not just over the top magma. Look at these other people. Look at Shiki, over the top ability, right? Sakazuki, over the top. Lin Lin, over the top. Kaido, over the top. All these over the top abilities. Luffy got rubber. Shanks is a one-armed man. Hawkeye's apparently doesn't have a devil fruit. Zoro doesn't have a devil fruit. Dark King, Roger, they don't have devil fruit, right? Ben Beckman, as far as we know, don't have a devil fruit. No overpowered, but yet really powerful, if not the most powerful characters in the series. The will. Lastly, let's get into the philosophy. Luffy says Pirate King is the freest man on the sea. Freedom. Sean Holmes, shout out to Sean Holmes. He often brings up about Dragon, why Dragon is so great, because Dragon wants freedom. That desire, and again, I'm not going to get into the entire philosophy of freedom. That's deep stuff, and it's broad and vast. But for those who don't understand, when you really break down freedom, people think they know what freedom is. Most people don't really understand freedom or really want true freedom. Freedom, now, you need barriers, you need parameters, because freedom is the ability to do anything you want to. Pure and simple. Luffy's moral code is questionable, but that's a whole thing. But it goes along with freedom. Like it's his moral code. You could say it's selfish at times, but from what it seems is he wants people to be free to be able to choose for themselves, choose lives for themselves, and anyone who comes in conflict with that, well then that becomes an enemy. Sir Crocodile, Anel, Gecko Moria, Joker, Caesar Clown, Kaido, well not so much Big Man, he didn't really fight as of yet. But anyone who goes against it will fundamentally be an antagonist or villain of Luffy. That's just the nature of the beast because he's about freedom. And Roger seemed to be, because according to Rayleigh, Luffy has similarities to Roger. Roger was about that free pirate life, bro. You take into consideration all of these things and them not striving to be the strongest, but because of their reason. Look at Zoro. Look at Zoro. Zoro lived freely, dog. Him and Luffy, like peas in a pod. Look at Shanks living free. That's why they're so powerful. And you could say, well, they're not really pursuing, but they are. They're pursuing their goal to be the freest person they can be, to be their true selves. And you be your true self, your will expand. Your confidence, your mentality will become sharper, and you'll become mentally stronger. I'll use another Dragon Ball example from Dragon Ball Super. Frieza, when he attained his true golden form, if you remember correctly, Frieza was in hell. Frieza couldn't do any physical training, but he did mental focus and mental training, and he refined his ability. He became the peak he's ever been. The mind, 95%, 90 to 95% of anything you do starts here. It's in the mind. It's all in the mind. Luffy's mentality he a different breed, bro. People could say he reckless and stuff. That's all great and dandy, but he gonna become the greatest because that's what the mentality you have to have. You have to have that you're gonna go against all odds. That you're gonna do the impossible. That's why Roger became Pirate King, because he did the impossible against all odds, against overwhelming. And some can say, well, you can die and stuff. Well, you got to be able to take risks. For any success in life, you got to gamble. That's why they're the most powerful. Of course, on paper, physically, not the most powerful. Luffy, and I've said this before, Luffy doesn't have to be the most powerful person to become Pirate King. But he must overcome the most powerful odds. And by overcoming, you become stronger. You see? It's a lot deeper of a concept, especially with Oda. And he's also pulling from a lot of pirate lore. If you look at pirates in our world, golden age of pirates especially, and you look at some of these Asian pirates, a lot of these people didn't have the most impressive physique. A lot of these people weren't these over the top, larger than life characters. These were regular men and women who use their intellect, use their wits, who use their charm, their skills, and whatever else, their wills to conquer, to become great. And that's what Oda's writing. He's not writing about pure, Chad's brawny strength like a lot of people. Of course, a lot of people going to look to Newgate. And no disrespect to Newgate. They're going to look to Newgate and it's like, of course he's stronger. He's got the most destructive devil fruit. He's got the hockey, he's got. But Roger, because he didn't have those advantages, it made him better. How many guys, and I'll end it like this, how many guys you know that didn't come from a well-off place, that didn't come from, they didn't have the greatest training facilities if we're talking about athletics, they didn't have, maybe the greatest tutelage, but they rose to be the most successful in business, they rose to be the most successful in the court because of the hard work. They had the natural latent talent. Luffy has that. You gotta have that. But they didn't have the advantages that some people have. Luffy, Roger, Rayleigh, Shanks, Zoro, Mihawk, they don't have the advantages of a Kaido, of a Lin Lin, of a Sakazuki. But they rise to prominence in spite of that and because of that. Unexpected one to like, comment, subscribe. Tell me your thoughts on this conversation. Like I said, this is a deeper look into something I don't think people are honestly analyzing and understand. And I'm not saying, some people are like, oh, it's not that serious. No, Oda's dropping a lot of life principles. He's throwing things directly in the face, and he's making it intentional. Oda is very intentional and meticulous with some of the stuff he does. And when it comes to the philosophical aspect, he's definitely intentional. He definitely is only intentional with the political and such, on the economic. He really is really intentional. And people have to get this false conception of what strength is out of their minds. Understand what truly strength is. All right, y'all. Have a beautiful day, beautiful night. Peace.